with the City of Island Fishing Field Team, and we're playing this simulcast to the Real Cast Fishing podcast. And tonight we're going light because there's a potential for some thunderstorms later, and it's a pretty quiet night, windier than yesterday. And we went light because I may have to run out of here real quick because of the rain. So I just got my spinning boat rod set up right here. I know it's pier fishing, but I'm using a boat rod. And I like the leverage of a boat rod on a pier. And basically brought some spec rigs to see what's biting. The spec rig is going to be topped off with some fish bites. Let me go show you that real quick. Okay. And when I'm saying I go light, just got bait bucket, some gear to help me take fish off the hook. And then this is the fish bites that I'm putting on there. Okay, and other than that, let's see what it takes us. Got the next couple hours here before it starts raining. So let's see what's lurking below the lights. And we've caught a couple already. They're mainly just sand trout, but there is occasional speckled trout mixed in there. And when I'm fishing in the wind like this, pretty much cast a tandem rig, spec rig, and again I'm going light. Oh, there's a hit. You can see some baby hard heads or gap top, maybe little fry. And it's low tide right now, but it's supposed to pick up till about I think later on around 5 it'll come up to high tide. Then we'll have the that thunderstorm to deal with. That's what I'm looking for. I do see some lightning out in the background, so just got to keep an eye on it, and it's kind of why we went light today. We did get a stingray that we'll be using for hopefully some bait and get some sharks later. Okay, there's a hit. Okay. And again, here we're at Galveston Fishing Pier on the Texas coast. Fishing just basically spec rigs at this point, mainly because we went light because we're anticipating some change in the weather here shortly. Let me go fix this. Got a little tangle here. Bear with me. All right. For those that just joined, we did this last night, and it went pretty well. Had some good stuff to see. Ella, hi Ella. How's it going? Okay. And just fishing tonight on the Texas coast. Let's cast out the tandem rig. I got it topped off with some fish bites, and I'm just letting it drift into the current. I can feel the hits. There's something popping in. It's mainly just sand trout at this point. There are an occasional speckled trout in there as well. Okay, hi, what fishing for? Whatever I get. Okay, what's behind me? Okay, so I'm fishing the Galveston Fishing Pier off the 91st Street and seawall. There's the T head. Right side of the pier is being worked on. They got damaged from that last set of storms. Left side is where we set up earlier today as well as the other night. We've been here about a couple of days now. And then we shifted over further down the pier, and down this way we were able to catch some nice, a stingray that we're using for bait. And then I've got a second rod set up here with some sand trout for some bait. I got a nice 8/0 circle hook, and just seeing if whatever bites, just being ready for that. But mainly this is just let's come out here, get a couple hours in fishing before any change in weather hits us. And fishing spec rigs topped off with fish bites. And here, because it's windy and there's a good current, I'm just going to let it drift in the current and just kind of keep the tension on the line. I'm feeling hits right now, and I am seeing some good amount of fish moving around in the under the lights. And one of the things that we learned about fishing piers is you don't have to go to the end to catch fish. Sometimes it's better just to kind of go wherever you see the bait fish are, and sometimes the troughs and whatnot that you'll see from the breaks and the waves. Down below, right here to the right, there's a whole bunch of these, like a little hardhead or gap top fry. See, I see some questions coming up. Let's see. Bear with me. Okay, what time is it there? Oh shoot, let me look at my watch. It is, let me see, 12:40. And then the water looks gross. Yeah, it's kind of clobbered right now. It'll clear up later on once we get some good stuff. Texas is really super something. Okay, well, we're fishing. All right. Okay. And so I'll read out comments, but the ones that don't have to deal with fishing, we'll skip those. Alrighty. Okay, what else is going on? We're over here in Allen, or correction, in Galveston. Galveston, Texas. Texas coast. Fishing live for whatever bites using just a spec rig and fish bites. Okay, I'm letting the current do the work at this point, and I'm just maintaining tension on the line, feeling for any bites. Had a couple of hits there, and then they stopped. There's some, looks like maybe some croaker or some whiting that just went by. A lot of activity under the lights. Yesterday it was pretty much, it was a lot calmer. And I guess this trip so far we've caught 2 shark, that one stingray, and a whole bunch of bait, sand trout and whiting and croaker. And what we do when we fish these piers is we're mainly targeting sharks and bull reds. We do see a lot of the bull reds and black drum earlier this morning, as well as the day before, moving about. But we did have to deal with some porpoise or dolphin that kind of shut things down, scaring all the fish and whatnot away. We are seeing some pretty good catches on speckled trout and sand trout. Just got to figure out what the pattern is and what the bait is. Okay. All right. Bear with me here. Got to have me a little light beer, Lone Star. Because while you're fishing, you might as well have a little brewski or two, since I'm just right down the road from here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and show you the spec rig I'm using. So the other day I was using the other spec rig that has it's called a beetle tail. Beetle, it's like a little like plastic deal here, but here I'm just kind of using one that's made out of this pretty much monofilament hair-like thing. And that seems to be what they were wanting. In fact, ooh, it's missing its fish bite. Let me go ahead and rebait it. Okay. When I find that I can get some pretty decent hits with and without the fish bites, but topping it off with fish bites tends to give it a little more something for them to hit at. In this case, these come pre-cut in a wedge. And what I'll do is I'll take one of those and I'll split it in half like so, and I'll put that on the spec rig. Okay. And for those that are monitoring on the audio portion of this, just going to call out, it's basically the H&H spec rig, some fish bites, pre-cut, and all I'm doing is halving it. Okay. And I will save this one since there's already one there, and I'll put the other one on. And all I do is just kind of top it off, give it a little something for them to pop at when I'm casting. Okay, bear with me. I gotta see what other comments have come in. Does the Lone Star make you skip that one? Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, well, you guys don't want to talk fishing. I can ignore that portion and we'll keep fishing. All right. Anyways, if you do have any comments, questions about fishing, definitely put them in the chat. That's what our channel's for, is basically learn to fish by our trials and errors, because we're just average Joes, not your professional fishermen. But we are avid fishermen. Okay. Okay, it is windy, so I do have a mic covered to help with the wind, but it's pretty windy right now. Okay, and we'll just kind of drift the bait through. Yeah. So the other night I live streamed about 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and seemed that group seemed to be more into fishing than calling out stuff. So it's a lot more engagement about fishing and a lot more ignoring the other comments that come in. But just FYI, the more you guys engage, the more the channel as well as the video gets posted. So keep posting, keep chatting. I'll take a look at the fishing comments. And here is one of those sand trout that we were using for bait that did well. All right, so any fishermen out there, do call out where you're at and see if I can look in the chat here. Okay, blah, 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 some more junk. Yeah, there's a lot of folks that don't want to talk fishing. Okay. All right, well, let's keep fishing then. All right. And what I'm doing here is I'm casting it and I'm doing a slow retrieve back just to maintain the tension on the line. And I'm actually just letting the rig drift through the water. And I can feel the fish tapping at a lot of light taps, occasional bigger tap. That's working pretty good. Okay. Let's see if something's kind of drifting by. Oh, there's some specks coming in. There's also those little hardheads down this way. Okay, getting a little tap again. All right. Bigger speck. All right, this guy's running with it. Oh, he just came off. All right, so sometimes if I want to double up, I'll just purposely leave the water or leave the rig in the water longer because the one fish on the top or whatever jig it took will attract another one to strike it, since they do travel in schools and they are getting pretty aggressive at times. Okay, speckled trout just came up and looked at it. Okay, and okay, bear with me here real quick.
I'm sorry.
It's okay if there's anything on, go for it. All right, so in the background you can see Galveston and you can see some lightning. That's what I was talking about, why we went light today instead of coming in with the other gear that we use for catching sharks and whatnot. And so that's what I'm keeping an eye on. It's supposed to hit it around 4:15, 5 o'clock local. And that's mainly when there's only a small opportunity to fish. I'll just go light. In this case, I'm just basically using a bass rig that I use for fishing Senkos in fresh water. Do have several other rigs out, but this one's my just, well, come out here and just play around deal. And, you know, it's one of those things where, when's the best time to go fishing? Whenever you can. All right, let's see some of these other comments. Blah, blah. Do you have deep water? It's not very deep here, at least at this here in this location. Water's fairly shallow. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna let it drift and just maintain tension on line so I can feel the hits. I'm getting taps right now. Okay, I'm seeing some speckled trout coming up in the lights. It'd be perfect to be coming out here with maybe some popping corks and some live shrimp. But usually, like fishing further down south in the Port Aransas area where I grew up, we tend to just, back then we were just using spec rigs and Johnson minnows, and that was pretty much all you used to catch your fish. And at this point, I got some good hits right now. I can feel the line moving. There's one on right now. He just took it. There's another one on now. Okay, he's still on, but I'm gonna let him play around and see if he'll attract another one. Okay, and I may switch out my bait on the other one. I went with a bigger size sand trout, and I'm thinking maybe I need to go with a smaller one. All right, let's bring this guy in. Did see someone catch a speckled trout last night. Went about 19.75, and there's some new rigs on speckled trout that you gotta keep an eye out for. Gotta be bigger, basically. Oh, all right. Catch and release. Catch and release. Okay. Let's see. Put that. Yeah, I got one on the hook already. All right. And I'll probably rebait here soon, and I can show you how I set up the rigs, because we use weed eater line when we're coming out here catching the smaller sharks and whatnot. And so far we've caught some. That's the biggest one, about a 5-foot shark, and that weed eater line had no problem bringing that in. Plus, using that mailin wire has been a game changer for yours truly. Before I was using 7-strand and this other wire, and I just couldn't get the crimps in there. And when I started shifting over to weed eater line and mailin wire, we've caught bull reds, we've caught black drum, as well as shark, no problem, as well as we got that big stingray from last year. So do take a look at the channel, COAF Fuel Team on YouTube, and you'll see we got a lot of fishing videos out there. Okay, all right, this is what's out here right now, some sand trout. Okay, these have no size limit, speckled trout do. Okay, all right, let's see what the chat's saying. Put them on the hook, use live bait. I did that, just in the case. Let me go ahead and show you the rig that I'm using here. And this is the one when I'm kind of in a hurry and I don't want to bring the full gear that we use. So I'm using a short rod. This one I used back when I was in California. And I use it at the party boats and whatnot to fish for different things. And right now I got a huge sand trout on there, and I'm gonna switch it out. And there's the lightning thunderstorm that I'm watching, because it's supposed to rain here around 4 o'clock, and we're just going to do this for a couple hours, because bottom line, it's the best time to fish when you can. And there is, but he's kind of beat up, so we're going to go ahead and feed him back to the fish, or the other fish. Okay, so I've got an 8/0 hook, circle hook. Okay, and here in Texas it requires a non-offset hook as well as non-stainless. I've got some mailin wire. Tough to see, but that's mailin wire. Okay, and then I've got 0.095 weed eater line, and then I think I've done some videos on it. But for the sinker, I'm using a 3-ounce called a claw sinker. I make them out of the Do It mold. Okay, but much cheaper than buying them, because these go for like $3 to $7 at times, and I can make these pretty cheap. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this one here and just kind of standing by, and let's come over here and see if we can get something to put on there for bait. Ooh, I just saw another speckled trout go by. Okay, and we're fishing live here at the Galveston Fishing Pier in Texas, just about an hour away from Houston, Texas. Yours truly is from the City of Allen. City of Allen Fishing is our name of our channel, and we're up in Dallas, Fort Worth, and this is our annual run to the Texas coast that we like hitting Galveston. I think this is our 15th year doing this, and it's been fun. All right, I just lost those 2. I had 2 on the line. And for those that just joined, I'll describe what I'm using. It's the H&H spec rig. Okay, right there is the view of the jig. Okay, got nylon, the hook, the jig head, and I've got a strip of the well, that's just a piece of it, but some fish belt bites, and then here's the other piece. And they're tandem rigged. They come as a a pair, tandem. And I'll pre-cut these fish bites here. And let's go ahead and rebait this one. So last night I was fishing without the fish bites and having no problem. Today I'm just kind of topping it off with the fish bites. Probably could catch some, but I definitely increase the numbers when I do that. Okay. And bear with me. It's pretty windy tonight, so I'm hoping that the microphone cover that I have is working to where at least you can hear me clearly. And I'll be commenting a lot, mainly because this is also a podcast that I'll repost on our podcast, realcastfishing.net. All right. Watching from Missouri, outstanding. What are I fishing for? Whatever bites, but right now it seems like sand trout and maybe the occasional speckled trout. There are some croaker in the mix moving about, as well as some whiting. Oh, there's a hit. There's another hit. Okay. And here, normally I would be doing a little twitch move like this, but because it's windy and I can take advantage of the wind movement, I can just cast it out and let the wind and waves do the rest, and mainly just keep tension on the line, so if I do feel a strike, I'm ready for it. Initially, I've been here, this is our, let's see, today's Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday. The other night we caught 2 sharks, as well as, and then the night before, it was mainly just some bunch of bait that we were catching. Had some good hits, but unfortunately, weren't able to seal the deal on those guys. Okay, so here again, I'm just kind of reeling it in slowly. I'm just using the same rig that I use for Senkos when I'm fishing up over there back in North Texas. Okay. All right, fishing at 2 a.m. Let's see, is it 2? It's only 1 a.m. But we were here last night into the next morning, and you know, when you're on the coast and you got some time, we're fishing as much as we can. And there is a chance of thunderstorm here around 4 or 5 o'clock. So I decided to just come out here real quick, see what's biting, see what's under the lights, and see if we can catch a fish or two. And there's a hit right there. Okay, he's running. Oh, he came off. Okay. Little sand trout. And like I said, someone did catch a speckled trout last night, a keeper size speckled trout. And the thing about both the speckled trout and the sand trout is when you're traveling, we're up in Dallas-Fort Worth area, when you're traveling fishing for these guys, those are ones that are pretty tough to freeze because, normally we'd fillet our fish, put them in the cooler and take them back with us, so we got some fresh fish when we get back to the home front. But with speckled trout and sand trout, they tend not to freeze well. They get a mushy consistency after they are defrosted after freezing. So those are fish that's better to catch or to cook as soon as you can without freezing it. So I'd say within the next 2-3 days after catching them, definitely want to go and cook them up. Okay, let's go ahead and all right, let's go ahead and just kind of let it drift. So I'm letting it drift again, feeling for some bites. Okay, and if I don't get any bites, we'll just recast. Simple as that. All right, here is one that I want to re-tag with some fish bites. So let me just go ahead and he's a little tangled too, so let's fix that. And here's the fish bites. Just kind of top it off on there. This one's getting pretty beat up. I may have to cut off the little portion of the fish bite that has that cloth, mesh cloth or whatever, that makes it hold on really well. All right, bear with me, let me grab them. Okay, and when I'm going light, all I did was bring the bait bucket, and it's my tackle box at this point. And there's the fish bite, okay?
Yeah.
And I'll go and cut them in half and see where that takes us. So, okay. So I'll just cut it in half real quick. Okay. I like doing the strips instead of the chunks when I'm using these spec rigs. Seem to work out pretty well. Bear with me. You got to just cut through that mesh. Okay. And we tend to use fish bites a lot because that's the bait that gets us the bait that gets us the big fish. And last year we got a nice size stingray. Took a while to bring that one in. Okay, bear with me. Okay. So let's just grab this one and top him off. And I think I got some more people chatting, so let me see if there's any fishing related chats. Okay. Masterful. Fishing at night seems kind of lit. It is. Big fish bite at night. It's the best. Nice. Hobby I'll pick up when I move to Florida. Nice. Florida's pretty cool. Nobody else is out. It's nice and quiet. All right. Yeah, it is. It is nice and quiet. But right now there's a fair amount on the T-head. I think it'll die out here soon because I think some of those folks been fishing all day, and we have. But we also took a break in between because it does get hot. I mean, today I think they hit 100 degrees again, 100-degree temps. So definitely brutal here on the Texas coast at times, but luckily right now it's actually pretty comfortable. Got a nice cool breeze. It's a lot of humidity still, but not as bad as it can be. And well, the fish are biting, so that even makes it that much better. Okay, there's a hit. It's another tap. Okay, he's tapping it. I'm watching the line. I'm using 65-pound braid. Okay, and this is the one that I'll repost the video that I caught a stingray with, a pretty heavy stingray. We ended up having to use the pier net to bring him back up. And here I'm just kind of working the lights. So over here at the pier, there's lights that they have going into the water, and what I'll do, depending on time of day and what I'm fishing for, I'll typically just kind of walk the lights as I'm coming onto the pier, head all the way to the T-head, see how the bite's doing there, and then what I'll look for is right over the lights. You just look down in the water and look for the fish. Okay, you'll see them on the surface. You'll see them kind of popping about, and that's probably a good indication that maybe that's where you want to try fishing, because where there's bait fish, there's bigger fish. Especially when you're watching the waves and whatnot. Watch where the current's tending right now. So it's basically a 45-degree angle from the pier at this point, and it's coming into the beach. And what you can probably play with is just that the different troughs that you'll see give you a heads up as to where to possibly fish in some of the deeper holes. And here, this is what I had set up, but it's kind of quieter on this side, but you can see, yeah, we're out here, and out in the distance there's that thunderstorm piece that we keep looking at, because that's supposed to hit here in about 2 to 3 hours, and so that's the reason why we went light today. All right, here I'm going to go down here, move everything down a little bit because this side's out of the wind. If I fish this side, I want to see if I can get anything kind of playing around here, so bear with me. Just walking down to the next set of lights. Okay, and it's definitely shallow here. I can. It's low tide. We're going to be on a rising tide here up until 5 in the morning, and what that tells me is because we got all that water movement, we should see the bite pick up throughout the night. But unfortunately, we do have a thunderstorm to deal with here, so that's going to throw things. So, and when I'm going light like this, I bring some pliers. I got these little fish grips because I hate getting poked by them hard heads. And then I'll bring my little bait bucket, one that I picked up from Island Tackle way back in Port Aransas on another trip. And currently we're here, Galveston 2024. This is our annual fishing trip to fish the piers. Some days we'll hit different piers. Other trips we'll just kind of hit this one. It just depends. So here we are under the lights. Okay, just reading through the comments. Looks like some comments. But yeah, something's coming. Something's brewing. But hey, best time to go fishing. You guys have heard me before on this channel and on these live streams. Whenever you can. So good or bad, you get out there with a line. All right, because you don't know when the next time you'll be able to go. There's a hit. A little tap tap. I'm just reeling slowly, keeping tension on the line. There's a hit. Another hit. And I suspect it's those sand trout. I just did see, look like not a speckled trout, but another fish go by. And this side's less windy because the wind is to my back. So I'm hoping that the microphone is at least keeping it to where it's audible. Oh, there's another pop. There we go. Okay, got another hit. And you'll see that I won't reel in right away because fishing tandem rigs as well as sabiki rigs, once you get that first fish on the rig, you'll be surprised how many other fish all of a sudden just get hungry and want to hit the other rig or the other lures on that rig. So when you're fishing like so, you kind of just bring it in and feel that fish, keep the tension the whole time, and let them load up. Okay, so sometimes you'll see some folks out there catching on a 5-6 rig or 6 lure sabiki rig. They'll be bringing in 5, 6 fish at a time. Yours truly is using a 2 rig, tandem rig, spec rig. And that one, I'll double up as well as singles throughout the night. Right now, I'm just kind of enjoying the bite. All right, so there's multiple hits there. Let's go back to this side here. Flip-flop back and forth, and nice time to be out. There's not too many people on this section. There's a lot more on the end. I did see that it cleared out a little bit. Okay, but I'm starting to hear that thunder in the background more. And I'm seeing a lot more lightning as well, so I don't know how much longer we'll be able to stay out here. Okay, so cast it out, maintain the tension on the line. I'm feeling the taps. Okay, there's another tap, another one. Okay, and just keeping the tension right here, bringing it in, keep it in the current. And there's still a steady tap. I actually may have one on, maybe a little guy. Nope. Oh, yeah, it is a little guy. Oh, he got off. And I suspected those little sand trout. And just cast a little bit further this time. Normally I'll kind of fish the edge of the light and then bring the lure back in. Other times, like I'm fishing Copano Bay or Copano. I've been pronouncing it wrong all these years, but over there in Rockport, Texas, we'll fish over there under lights, and that's a pretty fun time. There we go. There, he's off. He's off. Little sand trout, speckled trout just went by. But yeah, it's quiet night with the chance of rain that'll cut our little trip short, but still enough to get a line wet and hopefully catch a fish or two. There we go. There's a hit. Oh, he's a little guy. He's off. He's off. Little guy. I think what they're doing is the little ones are kind of holding on to the fish bite, but not grabbing or not getting hooked. And the bigger ones I'm able to hook. Yeah, we're getting a lot more lightning now. Okay, let's just bring this guy in slowly. Okay, more taps, more taps. Okay, good taps. There's one. Oh, yeah, that one wanted to play. This one wants to play. He's off. Off again. All right, now I'm gonna fish kind of parallel to the pier and kind of work this area here in this angle just to see if there's something lurking. Okay, let's bring it in slowly. There's another pop. Just saw a needlefish go by. Okay, Again, just a steady retrieve like so. There's another pop. Watching the end of my line, feeling for stuff. Oh, there's a little guy. Oh man, the dreaded hard head. Actually, it's a little baby gaff top. Okay, this one you got to be careful of because it's like a catfish, but it can poke you and give you a little ouchie. And I think there is some kind of venom deal that they got. What I'll typically do is I like using these fish grippers and kind of using it to help me get the fish off the line. Right. Main thing is you gotta be careful of is those spines, because they are sharp and they will poke you. Okay. Well, let's see if I can do it the other way where you just kind of flip it off. Yep, there we go. All right, faster release. But yeah, I can see the lightning activity is getting worse, so ooh. It's about, what is it, 1:10. Wasn't supposed to hit till 4 or 5 o'clock, so maybe here sooner. And kind of cleared out, so I'm only see two people down this way. And then over here, fair amount of folks still on the end, but not near as many. So yeah, I think it's clearing out. Probably could go check it out here, but I don't know. This lightning stuff, I made it to where I can get to the car fairly quickly and, you know, stay out of the thunderstorm. But let's see. Bear with me. I need to get to my source of complex carbohydrates. All right. Okay. Let's see. Little Lone Star light, because you got to watch the calories now. All right. Let's just kind of chill. See what we got out here. And yeah, we'll try out the fish bites and tandem rig here. Oh, okay. So, let me go grab it real quick. The right here, when your fish bites get all torn up, they leave this little mesh-like thing. And you got to cut it off. I mean, I think it's like almost like a medical cloth or gauge. I don't know exactly what it's called, but let me grab my other fish bite I had here, right there. I'm gonna rebait it, and basically you got to use your knife to get them off. And let me see where I put it. I think I had it on the ground over here earlier. Okay, let's see what we got. I think I put it back in here. Yep, there it is. I keep it simple when I'm using my knife for bait fishing. I pretty much just pick up one for like $1 on the end of the pier or at the pier store, because how many times I've lost knives on a pier in the water, and it's a killer losing a really good one. So I tend to just get one of these guys, and if I lose it, I just run back and buy me another one for $1, and I'm good to go. All I need is really just to cut bait and cut line, so it just has to be sharp enough, but you can sharpen it if you want. But oh wow, this thing's all clobbered. So let's go ahead and get that cleared out here. All right. These fish bites are great, but this little deal here is always a pain. So you end up have to cut it like so to get it off your hook. Usually you can, if you're just using fish bites and no other lure or whatnot, you can usually just leave it on there and just keep stacking it on there till you have a bunch, and then you cut it. But for these, I like to go ahead and keep them fairly clear so that it doesn't impede the action of the fly, or in this case, the lure. Oh, I mentioned fly. I do a lot of fly fishing. All right. Okay, let's see. Here we go. See some more. A little moonlight, and they are chasing that. How old are you? I think someone asked that again. How old are I? I'm legal in all states. How about we say that? Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and cast it out. Okay, again, I'm just gonna let it drift. Keep tension on the line. Got that little hard hit here. I may go back to where we were getting those sand trout and just bear with the wind. Yeah, let's do that. Don't like taking off hard heads all night. Because, man, sooner or later you're going to get poked by one. And it's not that it's a painful experience. You just got to watch for the infection possibility. And then at the same time, yeah, it is painful at times, especially if it's a deep one. All right, so bear with me. I'm just grabbing my gear and I'm going to move back where we were. So one thing when you're adjusting for pier fishing is you can always just kind of move up and down the pier looking for that particular location where they are at. And in this case, this set of lights shooting over into the water, there's actually a bunch of these little fingerling hardheads, as well as I'm seeing a consistent amount of fish moving about. Like there's some right now in the water. Okay, bear with me. Let's see what we got here. Some more comments. Good scissors would help. Yeah, it's a good one. Yep. Let's see. All right. Okay, so right here, if you just kind of watch, you'll see some flashes, and that's the fish coming up, kind of popping about, and as well as some shadows. Like there's one that just went by. Here's a whole school. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a whole school of these little fingerling, gaff top, and hardheads. Basically that fish that I just caught. Speckled trout just went by. Okay. All right, and normally we'd be fishing here longer, but right there is why I went light tonight. Is if you look out in the distance, you'll see that. And there's a forecasted thunderstorm supposed to be arriving here tonight or later this morning. Okay, so I cast, let it drift, keep tension on the line, feeling for the strike. Okay. All right, nothing there, so recast. And this is the same rod I use when I'm freshwater fishing, using Senkos. And just like Senkos, I'm actually watching the line. There's a hit, good hit. It's like little guy, so let's go bring him in. Take a look at him. He may be big enough that I'll put him on the other rod. Okay, little sand trout. They get bigger than that, but for now, we're just gonna take this guy, transfer him over to the other rod right here. And I'm gonna fish this side because I want it to kind of drift into the current where the sinker is. Okay, and here I'm gonna, oh, man down. Okay. I got a 8-aught hook, and I'm gonna just kind of poke them through the back right here, like so. And I'm using that weedier line setup. learned this years ago from some other individual who uses weed eater line, and then I kind of modified it to handle these short boat rods and use this malin wire that allows me to not worry about a shark cutting off. Only time we really get a break off is if the shark's big and he rolls on the line on us and he cuts the main line. Okay. All right, so let's just let that one kind of soak and see what happens. Okay, drop a GoPro. I was thinking about it, but I brought my water wolf camera. I was thinking about bringing it, put it in the water and see what happens, but you got to kind of time it right, because right now it's really cloudy, murky water, and typically it really gets like that. It will clean up. Like the other night when we were here, you could see to the bottom, green water, or correction, yeah, green water, really clear. And in fact, when I caught that stingray this morning, yeah, it was, I was sight casting to it. And that's the one we were going to use for shark bait tonight, if it wasn't for that thunderstorm or storm that's pending. All right, so let's go ahead and try again. Cast it out. Just let it drift. There we go, there's a hit. Watching the line, feeling for the strike. It's mainly little guys like that one. But in there, I'm seeing some pretty nice looking, look like sand trout as well as speckled trout down there. Okay, the difference between a sand trout and a speckled trout, one has speckles or spots and the other doesn't. There's some other differences, but that's the quickest way to tell. So, bear with me. Let me get this guy unhooked and then I can give you a closer look. Okay, so it's a sand trout. Oh, that was a sand trout. All right, one has spots, one doesn't. All right, both of them have the weak mouth, or also what they call weak fish. Is that weak mouth is very paper thin, almost like a crappie mouth. If you remember what a crappie mouth is, it's kind of got that membrane around the mouth, and it's very fragile. Okay, we just go drag it through again. There's another pop. All right, nice. That's fun stuff. Do this all night. Well, actually, we did that all night. The only reason why we're not doing it again is we got that thunderstorm. But we'll be back out after the thunderstorm, back out here again. So stay tuned. Probably do another one of these live streams. Just depends on what's biting, what the conditions are, and see if we can keep you interested in the action here. So there we go, another one. And again, for those that ever want to come out and try, I'm just using the H&H spec rig, topped off with some fish bites, and they come tandem rig. Locally, it's like $1.99, I think, over here at the stores, Walmart. I mean, shoot, just any bait shop you go to. I think even over here at the pier. This is a Galveston Fishing Pier, also known as Jimmy's Fishing Pier, also known as 91st Street Fishing Pier. It's there's 3 piers here. There's 2 that you use that are for fishing, the 61st Street and the 91st, or Galveston Fishing Pier. And then there's the Pleasure Pier, which is more like an amusement area. It's got restaurants as well as a Ferris wheel and different rides and whatnot. And that's further down the road here. Let's see. Back out that way is where it's at. And then back that way, we're at the 91st, so 30 whatever is blocks up is the 61st Street Fishing Pier. All right. What if you cast into a big shark? How do you get up there? So what we typically do when we are fishing the piers, we come out with field gear. We'll have our pier cart, our bait buckets, or ice chest with lots of water, plus we'll have a pier net. Well, it's basically, it looks like a huge crab net, and that's what we've used to bring up some pretty good sized fish. If you look at the channel, last year we caught it is bigger than 4 foot wide stingray, and that one we used a pier net, and we had to have a bunch of people help us lift it up and get it out of the water because it was pretty big. But that was fun. But that's what we use. One thing that we learned from last year versus this year is if you get a big one like that, you pretty much have to ratchet it up. And what we had to do was we had to take the rope, put it around the wood beam here, or wood cross member, and one person would secure it in place while the other group, there was 9 of us pulling it up. We'd pull back and then stop, pull back, stop, and just make sure it was secured. So what we've done this year is I got a ratchet, one of those rope ratchets, and it's one of those quick ones you can attach to anywhere, and that's our plan now, because normally there's 2 of us when we come here to the coast, my fishing buddy and I, and we try doing this every year. This is our 15th year now. I think it's the first year that we've done the live streaming piece, but all the other times you'll just see some videos and whatnot. I kind of like the live streaming because, like here, you get all this engagement here with folks coming on, and it's pretty fun. Yeah, okay, you get the folks that are talking about other stuff and trolling and whatnot, but well, just skip those comments and just continue on and stick to the fishing stuff. Are you in Florida? No, I'm in Texas, on the Texas coast over here by Houston, Texas, Galveston, Texas, about an hour away from Houston. Okay. All right, so this guy ate it pretty good. Oh, and he took my fish bite. I'm gonna leave no fish bite on that one. Let's see what happens. So no fish bite, and one has a fish bite. Let's see what happens. Okay, and I'm fishing under one of the lights here at the pier. The T-head was damaged in one of the storms, so they are repairing part of the T-head, so it doesn't have its full space. Oh, it just threw it. But you still can fish it. We fish it 2 days now. So this will be our 3rd day out here. This side of the T-head is damaged. It was fixing some of the railing and the plankings. This side is okay, as well as straight ahead and just slightly to the right. All right, so it is kind of tough if it's really full, but it's also the off season, so we can take advantage of it being the off season. All right, let me just kind of peek it over here, see where that storm's going. It's still out there, but it's enough to keep my interest, to make sure I don't get caught in it. All right. Okay, what else is here? All right, and yeah, in the background I'm hearing a lot of thunder, and I'm just gonna chill here real quick. So different hotels and whatnot, and yeah, it's pretty cool place, good food and whatnot to chill. And I think if I was in my younger days out gallivanting around for the non-fishing variety, yeah, I think I'd have a good time. But right now I'm fishing, and what's the rule of thumb that I've been saying all along? Best time to go fishing, whenever you can. All right, so let's go and fish. And again, I'll just describe, because we are also simulcasting, not simul, we're going to repost as an audio podcast on our podcast, realcastfishing.net. And what I'm describing is I am using basically a Cabela's bass fishing rod with a H&H spec rig and some fish bites. And I'm just casting into the current, or the waves, under the lights here at the Galveston Fishing Pier. And so what I mean, the current or waves, so we're at a 45-degree angle. It's coming in this way into the pier, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast out this way to the edge. Later on, when we started getting swells and whatnot, it's a perfect time to get an idea where these holes are. Because what you'll see is you'll see the waves breaking, and then you'll see a trough, and then you'll see it kind of calm. Those calm areas are where it's deeper, and typically that's where we'll try targeting where we're trying to fish or cast as we work the pier. Morning's usually good for trying to get whatever is hitting in the surf, and I was hoping to get some Spanish mackerel this morning. but unfortunately they weren't going for it. I was using a gotcha plug and had some hits, but not consistent. It was just, oh, the other day when we were out here, the dolphin just kind of wreaked havoc on the place. They were just feeding on everything, and the fish went down, or the bait fish were gone, and everything got quiet. It was kind of dead for a couple of hours, and then luckily it picked up again. Oh, it's a little needlefish playing right there on the edge of the shadows. Okay, bring it in slow again. Let's go peek at our other rod here. It's the one that we just kind of set out just in case we get anything big. Okay, fishing for tail. That's a good one. Yeah, I've been guilty of fishing for that. I think we're all guilty. Oh, there's a good hit. Okay, he's playing with it. Little guy. Oh, he doubled up. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it in slowly and see if his buddy will come in and join him. Well, it doesn't look like he wants to. Let's go bring him up again. All right. So, all right, and then, so a lot of times we'll come to a pier and we'll see a lot of people coming out with some spin casting gear, and it's pretty rough on spin casting gear, salt water as well as the fish that you catch. So I'd suggest try maybe in spinning reels, maybe if you're beginning. Spin casting's pretty tough. I started out with a spin caster, fishing piers also. The old Zebco 101, I think it was, or 202, and then the Zebco 33. There was another one that was made out of metal that was pretty cool to use. And one thing I learned about fishing spin casters, salt waters, is make sure you fight the fish with your rod, not with the reel. And what I mean by that, excuse me, what I mean by that is, oh, another one just got off, is, let me just cast. Okay, if you're gonna fight the fish with your rod, you will basically use the rod to bring the fish in, okay? And then push forward and reel in the slack, and then bring the fish in, okay? So you're basically doing I pull back this way to take up line, and then I reel, moving my rod forward, take up line by pulling back again, reel, move forward, okay? A lot of times what I see, especially with the spin caster, and it's brutal watching it, is either their drag's not set or the drag just can't handle the fish. And what they try doing is they will try, oh, little whiting. Okay. Oh, okay. What they'll try doing is they'll try wenching and basically fighting it with the reel. So in this case, what you're doing is, all you're doing is holding your rod in place, and you're just doing like so, just reeling in, bringing that fish. He's big enough and that drag can't handle it, you're gonna either break the line, or your reel is just not gonna cut it, okay? The other thing is they'll point their rod toward the fish, and all it is your line and the reel fighting it, versus take advantage of your rod. That rod is part of your gear and is meant to be able to give some so that the fish is not putting its full force onto the line and the reel and breaking you off. Kind of give you a little buffer zone so that you can play a bigger fish on a smaller rod. Let me see what else is here. Hi. Oh, I got to call out the name. I had a hard time because my phone is on a harness in front of me and it's tough to see. It's Ella. Hi, Ella. Pull up, reel down. Yeah, that's true. That's what you got to do. Pull the reel up and down and reel. Yep. That's it. And it's kind of frustrating, especially I saw one person with a spin caster the other day and had a fairly nice fish and broke off pretty much within a few minutes from hooking on, and I think they could have brought him in with their gear if they just fought it correctly. Alrighty. Plus, make sure you have a net, because that final piece where you're bringing them in, trying to get them up on the pier, well, that's where you'll probably lose them because that line won't handle it. Okay. And yeah, we do use a pier net. It was one year we went without it. There's another year we had the pier net, and we didn't bring it, or we left it. And next thing you know, we got some good sized fish, and luckily other folks were able to help us bring up the fish. All right, let's see, what time is it right now? 1:37, 1:38. I think we got like another hour before we got to call it quits. There's what I'm worried about. All right. So I'm gonna chill here, do some fishing, do some talking, and chatting if you guys want to chat. All right. Nice cast. Thanks. Yeah, I just got my thumb educated. I do ultralight bait casting, bait finesse. So this is just your standard bait caster. I do have some bait finesse style gear that really got me hooked because it's pretty cool catching fish with those micro lures or ultralight lures, and really don't get to fish saltwater that often since we're based further up inland in North Texas, over there by Dallas Fort Worth. Some more hits, but definitely if I was living down here like I used to growing up on the South Texas coast, this is more of the middle coast, I definitely would be out as much as I can fishing here, or saltwater. All right, so again, just kind of bringing the reel or reeling in, keeping tension on the line. Right there's a hit. All right, and then right on the T head last night, what I was doing was just casting, and there was a ton of fish, whiting, croaker, just kind of moving about under the lights. And what I was doing there was just casting under the light and kind of just doing a little jig right here, and I was getting a fair amount of fish. Right now there's a whole bunch of these little gaff top, like little ones, just right underneath the light, kind of just floating on the surface, doing whatever they do. And that was working out really well. People with sabiki rigs were, loading up 5, 6 at a time. But right now, I'm just kind of enjoying a little fish. Playing tandem rigs on an H&H spec rig. And I think earlier today, I set up a sabiki slab and jig rig style that I use when I'm kayak fishing over there at the local lake, and I used that setup. But I used instead of a slab, I used a trout tail or beetle tail from a spec rig, along with 2 crappie jigs, and I used a sabiki style rig setup, basically using the uni knot and jam knots to allow me to fish multiple lures at the same time. I just set it up with 3. There's a hit. Oh, and I used it to catch the bait that we were going to use tonight, and then I used it also to snag one of those stingray that we're going to use for bait for some sharks, possibly tonight. Okay. Yeah, stingray's a pretty awesome bait for sharks. Okay, there's another hit. There's another tap. Okay, let me go look back here, see how this guy's doing. Yeah, looks like nothing. Okay. There's another tap. Another tap. What's better piers for the beach? I'm not sure. Growing up down South Texas, Bob All Pier was awesome. But unfortunately one of the hurricanes tore it up, and I think it's going to be several years before they get that one rebuilt. I think it just got approved not too long ago, so they got to build it now. Horace Caldwell's good, but it's a different, that's further up at Port Aransas. It's a different bite compared to what Bob Hall used to offer. Had some really fun times at Bob Hall. King Max as well as sharks. That was always fun. Okay. And I used to fish that one in the winter, and just kind of enjoy catching some whiting. I mean, even though it was cold, that was a fun pier to go to. They did. They have a restaurant on there too, but I think they're gonna build that one up a little bit more. Okay, some more sand trout. All right, let me go check my other rig here. Oh yeah, nothing yet. Nothing yet. More thunder and lightning out there. I never fished off up here, but I think beach fishing is easier to imagine. It's sea. Beach fishing, yeah, I love beach fishing. From the surf, yo, it's great. Two things, you can just kind of hang out on the beach, enjoy the day, and then also fish. We'll do it different ways, actually be in the water. Other times we'll kayak out baits and whatnot. Just did many different things. And then there's other places you can fish. But that was mainly over there and around Port Aransas area, Corpus Christi. Here I haven't done that much. I mainly just stick with the piers here. I think we did hit one section of like the bay fishing over there at COAF Park one year, trying to get some flounder. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let's pop this one out. And again, same thing, just gonna let it drift, maintain tension on the line, feel for the strike. There's a strike. Okay, real quick nibbles, okay? Just kind of drifting it through, all right. Let's recast. So I'm hoping that some of the folks on the live stream, hey, call it out. Where are you from? What fishing do you do? Got any questions on fishing? I definitely call it out. Again, if there's some stuff if you say that YouTube doesn't allow, well, they just moderate it, so it kicks it out, so I won't even see it. And then there's some other stuff that people will do, some trolling stuff. I just kind of skip those and keep looking at the different comments, and if it's fishing related, I can call it out. Oh, there's a hit. I did see looked like a speckled trout go by, or possibly a redfish. Little square tail you got to look for. Okay. And just kind of drag it slowly again. And I think it's kind of quieted down. There's not that many people now. Woohoo! Pretty cool. I've been before on piers where I'm the only one fishing it. That's pretty cool too. All right. Let's see what else is here. I live in Utah. Fishing here is slim to none, being in the desert. Oh, bummer. How you doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing good catching them. It's been consistent. If I was loading up for some, let's say some sand trout, and I want to do a little quick pan fry deal, I definitely could be able to get some. Oh shoot, let's go add some more fish bites to this. But other than that, really just wanted to come out and see what's biting before the storm hits. All right, let's go ahead and rebait with some of these fish bites. And I'll still get bites or strikes without the fish bites, but just by adding that piece, definitely kind of ups your game here, okay? And these are the pre-cut ones. We normally get the one that's the full strip, and then we'll just cut them in squares and put them on our bait rigs. But in this case, these come pre-cut. I think they cost like $2 more than the other one. But there it is, and it's got two different colors, okay? This one I'm gonna use whole, just because I don't feel like cutting it now. And we'll see if that doesn't impede the strike, because sometimes the hook isn't exposed enough to allow the fish to get bit or hooked unless it's a bigger one. So there's a lot of small ones that I'll lose because of that. Oh, and then there's this mesh I got to cut off. All right, so let me go fix that before we start fishing again. All right, bear with me. And I went with my light setup, which is basically the bait bucket with all my gear in it. Normally we use a pier cart, got all our gear. We usually bring 6 rods. You can bring 3 rods total when you're on the pier. And since there's 2 of us, we're able to use or bring 3 rods total, or 6 rods total with the 2 of us. And what we normally were doing in past years was using 2 surf rods, and then 1 rod that we would use like a spinning rod, like 7-foot ugly stick, medium action, medium to heavy, and use that for catching bait. And then one year I got a hold of some of these boat rods from Penn, the Mariner boat rods, and I like buying things in pairs, so got 2 of the old Penn Squall 2s, the ones that replaced the old Penn 525, I think it was, magnet brake reel that a lot of long distance casters were using. And I picked up them, and I use them for fishing a particular lake in my area, using a heavy weight. And basically I called it surf casting without the surf, because I grew up on the coast, but I live inland and currently, and so I kind of miss being able to fish the coast. And so to pass the or to satisfy that need to be able to do a little surf casting, I went and picked up that couple of those rigs, and you put basically a 3-ounce, 6-ounce weight, put a sabiki rig on there, and just kind of cast for distance on a point, wind-driven point. And I don't know how many different fish I caught just on a point, casting over 100 yards easily with that thing. I think I got some old videos on the channel, so do check that out. Give you an idea of surf casting without the surf. All right. So here, I'm just kind of working fish bites and that spec rig for some sand trout. All right. Oh, got more comments. Let's see what we got. Which state are you fishing in? Texas. Let's see. Do you use squid for bait? I have used squid for bait. I do actually. Squid is pretty good because it stays on the hook really well. But ever since we learned about the fish bites, we kind of stick with it, and it's mainly because we're fishing for bait, so that we can use it for our other rigs, so we can go for some of the sharks and bull reds that are out here. Squid, when we have used them, either catch 2 things. Either the bait, actually 3 things: the bait, hard heads, gaff top, and then bond heads. For some reason, the bond head shark seems to prefer the squid. Seem to catch more of them on squid than any other bait that we've used. Of course, then you got to gut through the gaff top and the hard heads. Okay, there's another tap, tap, tap. Another tip, tip, tip. Okay, he's still popping at it. Okay. All right, I see some more comments. Okay, I think we're caught up. All right, so not a crazy night, but still good to go. Watching for that thunderstorm that's due. All right. So yeah, we didn't go with the full gear, but hey, I like this. I can do this. I'm good with this. All right. And then end of the pier is kind of quiet. There's still a fair amount of people on the T head. I suspect they're going for those sharks that should pick up, since we do have a impending storm and we do have a rising tide. So it's going to rise all the way up to about 5-6 o'clock this morning. And we fished that last night, and it was a slow bite for us, but it was consistent action on basically sand trout and other fish. But we did see a lot of big bruisers, bull reds and black drum, kind of cruising about, that they just weren't hungry. Okay, I'm getting a tap now. More taps. There's a hit. Okay. I'm mainly just watching the line. See the line? You'll see it kind of pull forward. So here I'm just kind of reeling in. There's the hit. Okay. Out. Okay. So looks like it's going to be a fairly steady but slow action, or steady action, mainly on these guys. And I haven't seen too much activity on the end, but hey, it's pretty good. All right, I'm not getting much more going on, so oh, let's drop my beer. Holy cow, sacrilege! Holy cow, I must finish this. All right, my bucket list fish is a ooh, those are big. Those are bruisers. I saw some of those videos and ooh, those are big. All right, I'll I don't know, what do you guys say? Fish for a few more, keep the live stream going, or are you guys ready to go hit the sack maybe if you're in the if it's sleep time for you? And I'm mainly just gonna hang out till this storm gets a little bit closer. All right, because hey, who knows? Might be able to catch something good. Let's give this one another cast and see. Got the double rigged fish bites on right now. There's another hit. Just kind of dragging it through. There's another hit. Little tap, tap, tap. Yeah. Okay, he's on. Oh, he's off. Little guys. That's what I thought is having the bigger size strip of fish bites means I'm probably going to get a lot of hits, but I'm going to probably get a lot of missed strikes because that hook is not exposed too well. So I got to make sure I get a bigger one maybe. Okay. See, I like to catch stuff you can eat. Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, that's what I am trying to do. I just definitely have a hankering for maybe some redfish and some shark fillets, like this one right here, sand trout. These make a really good pan fry. I mean, very simple pan fry. You can basically gill and gut them and scale them, and you're ready to go. Just season it with stuff, or you can fillet them, even butterfly them, quick butterfly and use that technique to clean it and cook it. Those they come out really good. Other times, I mean, speckled trout, same holds true. I think they kind of have the same consistency, meat and whatnot. Oh man, I just lost my fish bite. All right, so I'm just gonna go with one fish bite. Okay. But again, it's one of those ones where if I fillet them or clean them and then I try taking them home, it's not going to work too well. There's some needlefish in the water. See them there? Little needlefish. The other day there was a whole bunch over there by the T headlights. Okay, let's see if we can get something else to strike. Okay, I'm gonna drag it through slowly. Okay, not feeling it there. Come on, come on. All right, let's go this way. I'm gonna go on the other side of this light and cast it into the waves. And I'm gonna try just riding the wave in and see if I can get any hits this direction. Nothing yet. Oh, there's some taps. More taps. Okay. More taps. All right. Okay. Let's try Let's see if there's something further out. Take it out past the into the shadows. I'm gonna let it drift in. There's a tap. Okay. There's another tap. So they're like boom, boom, and then stomping. And usually it's when they're in a school and they're just kind of tailing behind it, pecking at it. Okay. Let's go recast that one. So that direction, maybe just the feel of the lure, but it seems like coming more parallel to the waves seems to get me a better, at least feel for the strike. So let's see what that does. No, oh, there's a hit. Oh, he just ran on it. So it's gonna be sand trout, I'm pretty sure. There's some more of those little, there's a, I don't know, I can't tell what those two are out here, but right here there's a bunch of those little hardhead, gaff top again, fingerlings, about yay big. Let's go on the quieter side and see what's going on. See some needlefish. Yeah, I see some needlefish. Dragging it slow. So I've done this before, fishing Chesapeake Bay under lights on a small pier over there, Solomon Islands, way back when. And I remember seeing some nice striped bass out there. Striped bass definitely can taste really good when you cook them. And yeah, that was an eye opener, seeing some of the numbers of striped bass that were out there back then. Okay. All right, well, I don't want to bore you guys with just a whole bunch of fishing for basically bait, but I do appreciate y'all joining tonight. Do stay tuned. Do stay tuned as we get ready to, well, we'll fish after the storm. So we'll probably be back out again. We'll get a GoPro out and get that action, then we'll repost it. All right, what else we got here? I like this, okay. All right, cool. All right, yeah, there's that thunderstorm coming. I don't see that many people now on the T head, so that's good news. So, all right, I got to do one more cast. I got to do one more cast. One more cast, and then we'll call it quits here. Okay, let's just kind of drag it. Oh, there's a tap. Tap, tap, tap. Another tap. Another, oh, there he goes. He's running. Still running. Nope, he stopped. It's nice playing with it. There we go. Double trouble. Oh, I lost one of them. All right. So I mainly caught these guys, sand trout, and one whiting. Yeah, one whiting. So it's been just pretty fun, just knowing that you can come out with a simple setup like so. I do find that I get more strikes when I put the fish bites on there, but right now I only have one of the two jigs with a fish bite on it, just because I don't feel like putting another one on there, because we're probably going to call it quits here soon. There's another hit. He's running again on it. He's picking up on it. Okay, I can feel it as well as I can see my line, and since I'm using that braided line with no stretch, you know, basically, nope, he got off. Basically, you're feeling that direct strike or whatever versus the mono and that bendy stretch that it gets. Okay, let's do it again here. Waiting for the strike. Gonna drag it in slow. I'm feeling it. Okay. Oh, that was a bigger one. Oh, that was a bigger one. He came up. That looked like a bigger speckled trout. Nice. I don't know if you can see it, but I saw it. So as I was bringing this guy in, a bigger one came up under it, probably a speckled trout. Okay. And here I'm just kind of catching and releasing at the point because I'm mainly, well, we got enough bait for today. Later on when we come fishing, we'll be using these for bait along with some other fish we caught, and then that stingray. Okay, there's another hit, another tap. Okay, there he's on. Okay, let's let this one kind of float around because I think there's a bigger guy looking at it. And I'm hoping it's one of those bigger speckled trout. No, you don't want to play with that one. Let's bring them in. Okay. And this one struck on the orange jig on that tandem rig. And now I'm fishing with no fish bites. I do have some fish bite mesh on this one. So let's go and see how they're biting without fish bites. Just straight tandem rigs, okay? And this one I fish a little bit different when I'm fishing without the fish bite or with the fish bite. Is I'll still do the little drag and all that, like real slow, wait for the hit or wait for the strike. But I'll tend to start twitching it if need be as it's coming through the water. Okay. So nothing there. And the reason why I do that is because I think that little twitch is enough to elicit some of these ones that don't want to strike to strike. And here's the twitch. It'll be like this. Tough to do in this current. And just kind of twitch it, get them to get interested. Okay. There's a hit. There's a hit. Okay, I'm gonna take it under the pier now. And I'm gonna just kind of jig it. And a ton of these little fingerlings. There's a hit. Let's let it go under further. Okay. Okay, so here, no fish bites, just, no, let's recast it out. No fish bites, I'm just gonna jig it. Okay, letting the current take it, and just gonna start popping the lure, let it drift in the current. And just kind of jigging it through there. A lot of times I'll get the hit on the drop as that rig drops. It's when there's a hit. Another hit. Little guy. Yeah, he's on. He's on. Little guy. Okay. So yeah, you can catch these guys. You don't have to have fish bites on them. He's actually a little bit bigger than some of the other guys. And that's your classic sand trout. Okay. All right, and you know, not bad. You can catch a fish with a lure that costs $1.99. All right. Okay, I'm gonna drag this one slow. There's a tap again. Here I'm just riding the current in. There's a hit. Okay. All right. Oh, he's off. And you'll see me set the hook more readily than I do when I'm using fish bites, because the fish bites, they'll tend to hold on longer and I can take my time setting the hook. With these, it's like maybe a reactionary strike when they're hitting it. So I'll tend to go ahead and try setting the hook on them just to make sure. I might just to make sure I hook them. Okay, some needlefish going by. Okay, some slow retrieve. There's a tap. Another slow retrieve. Gotta bring it in. Okay, now I'm gonna jig it under the lights, letting the current take it. I actually let it even go under the pier. And I'm mainly feeling for tension on the line and the fish striking. So there's a tap, another tap. Okay. And the current's actually running under the pier. So we can play that by ear and just kind of. There's a hit. There you go. All right. That one hit it right away. Nice. Nice. That was fun. All right. But man, I'm seeing a lot more frequency in the lightning. Yeah. Shoot. Man. It's one thing if it's rain. It's another thing if it's lightning too. Rain, you can call it a cloud and just kind of gut through, especially during the heat of the day. Lightning, well, you gotta kind of play it by ear. Okay. Where are you fishing at? Galveston, Texas, on the Galveston Fishing Pier, located 91st Street of the seawall. Okay. All right, there's another tap. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so when in doubt, set the hook. That's the other motto to say. Right there. Oh, man down, he's gone. All right, that's fun. All right, so yeah, remember that these spec rigs. I've tried the other H&H spec rigs, and over the course of the years, some days they want the one with a little tail on it. Other days they want the one that has the sparkly dot-like thing. And then other times they just want the original, which is basically this guy right here. That's it. That's it. They hit that. And I was fishing fish bites with them. So just kind of adding a little teaser on there, and went ahead and just said, hey, let's just go straight spec rig and see what happens. Just, of course, I'm tangled now. Let's see if I can get untangled. That last one got away from me, and the lure, or the rig, kind of flopped around everywhere, and now I got to fix it. I think I almost got it, though. Yeah, almost got it. All right, and I am using 65-pound test braid on a little bait caster. Okay, and I'll use these, even though it's meant for fresh water. I'll fish it in salt water. Had this one for so many years, I really don't sweat it. And then all I'll do is I'll just clean it when I get back, do a freshwater rinse with it every night when we get done, and then spray it with some WD-40, and I'm good to go. It still works. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get another one to play. Okay. Let's go this way. Okay, we'll let it kind of go slow. Okay, there's a strike. Little tap tap. No, I missed that one. Okay, nope. Let's try it again. Okay. Back out into the dark area. So right on the edge of the light and the shadows. Just letting it drift in. Keeping up with the waves. Feeling for a strike. Oh, there's a nice speckled trout that just went by. Okay. So far, nothing there. Oh, there's a tap. Little tap. Let's try jigging it. See if we can get one of these guys to strike. There's a hit. Ah. can feel the tension on. Okay, we'll just kind of do a little twitch, drift down. Still feeling some taps. There's the hit. Okay. Still feeling some hit. See 91st Street, Galveston Fishing Pier. Also 91st Street and Seawall Boulevard is what it is location. Okay. Let's get it back out. We'll let it drift. Just keeping tension on the line. If I feel a tap, since I don't have the fish bites on, I'm gonna go and set the hook. Now, no, nothing there. So now I'm gonna let it jig under the lights. Oh, one just hit it. Now when I saw him strike it, I could see him from here, the flash. Let's go more of an angle now. See if we can get him to hit on this presentation. Oh, there's a strike. There he goes. Got off. All right, let me stand off a little bit and cast more parallel to the pier. Let's see if I can get him to strike in that direction. Okay. Now I'm gonna twitch it more. There's a hit. Real quick tap on that. Man, he got away. Oh, something just jumped. Let's pop him. Let's see if we can get it to him. Maybe there's a school passing by. Different fishing than here. Oh, there's a hit. Okay, then in Minnesota. Oh yeah, you guys got like some lakes and whatnot. All right, another sand trout. Again, these can make a great pan fry recipe. Just they don't freeze well. So on these long trips to the coast, we're about 4.5 hours away from Dallas, Texas. And that's where we're normally at. So we're normally fishing freshwater. Okay. So a lot of my videos are freshwater. Kayak fishing, fly fishing, pond fishing, ultralight bait casting, fly fishing, the whole bit. I mean, hey, if it's fishing, I'll give it a try. There's another hit. Okay. But I do have a weakness for fishing salt water, fishing piers as well as beaches, and wade fishing different locations. Okay, so there's another Sunday. Okay, let's go ahead and let this guy go. Okay, so normally I'd be keeping these for bait, but we got enough for bait. And then we got that one stingray that, I don't know, he's pretty heavy when we lifted him. We're starting to get lightning above us now. Shoot. Let's look back here. I may have to call it quits. It does look fun, doesn't it? Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's getting closer. Okay, what time is it? Whew, I think we got maybe another, hour. But I won't keep you guys waiting another hour on the live stream. Oh, there's some needlefish. Oh, there's another hit. Okay, let's try this again. On the edge, slow reel in. I may twitch it here. Oh, there's a tap. Oh, it's in front of us now. Shoot. There must be another one coming. Okay. We're gonna have to call it quits. All right, I appreciate y'all joining tonight. This was fun. Hope to be able to do this again tomorrow. We're gonna be here all the way up till Thursday, road trip Friday, back to the home base in the city of Allen. But appreciate y'all joining. Check out our fishing channel, COAF Field Team on YouTube, and then we do have some podcasts, Real Cast Fishing. Real being R-E-E-L versus R-E-A-L. All right, but yeah, it's been fun. Appreciate all joining and appreciate the engagement. That's always even more fun. Let's see, how deep is the water you're in? It's not very deep. It's like maybe 4 or 5 feet here, and much more shallower here. It's not a very deep area of the of this place. I mean, maybe 10 feet at the end. All right, calling it quits. Appreciate y'all joining. Next time I'll catch y'all in good luck and good fishing.